must learn. You must learn. You must learn.
Now, that's what this book, falsely called Genesis, it was called Bereshit. That's its original name. Now, the word Bereshit, right, does not mean a creation. Let me say that again. Because don't they teach us that Genesis is the creation of all things? But there is no such thing as a word Genesis as a title for this book. We know that, right? So what is the title? Bereshit. And Bereshit does not identify a creation. It identifies a reconstruction, a remodeling. And you can write that. Reconstruction and remodel. This is, the is really important. Remodel and reconstruct. Now when I say remodel or reconstruct, what does that mean to you? If I'm going to remodel my house, what am I doing? I'm redoing it. I've already done it before, but I'm going to what? Redo it again. So if this word Bereshit means reconstruct, remake, reproduce, then I'm doing again. And so someone has said this is the creation story. That's what they teach you in English. They trick you and say this is the creation of all things. But if we went to the original name of the text, it doesn't say that. Let's deal with creation. Well, even if you do it in English, this word create. Because they'll say in the Hebrew that this word, Bereshit, a lot of people will say, well, actually it means create. It does mean create in a sense. Now I'm going to show you why. It means create because when you remodel, you are creating. You are creating when you get very creative during your remodeling. If you remodel your house, you create an atmosphere. You're recreating an atmosphere, right? So it does identify a creation. But when you hear the word create is what? It's a verb. And if it's a verb, that means it's an action that is being carried out. You understand that? It's an action, active. But when I add this to it, this suffix, shun or I-O-N, I'm transforming create as a verb into a condition. A condition is defined as an agreement. An agreement takes time for us to agree on how we're going to do a thing. An agreement takes time. When you create, if you know any artists, visual artists, or even music artists, when they create, the first thing they do is, it's in their mind, the design or the blueprint. That's how creation starts. And from that, it's called, it's the visualization. You visualize how you want this to be. And then there's a materialization that takes place to grab the materials and gather them together. And then there's a creation that starts. So creation is a three-part process. It's not that instantaneous. They teach you that God created the earth in what? 6 days. And on the 7th day, God rested. And in the Quran, they even say, Allah merely goes, kun fayakun, and things exist like that. Now that makes no sense. None at all. Why? Because you went from infancy and you grew into your greatness. Things grow into their greatness. Things aren't just that great. When you look at trees, trees grow from seeds into their greatness. In fact, all things, if all things are the creation of God, as they teach us, then all things grow into their zenith and eventually begin to decline. But they grow into that. There's a cycle that is taking place. So creation is not instantaneous. It's not overnight. Creation takes a long period of time. I know as an artist, it takes me time to sit down and try to figure out how I'm going to create a song. It's a process. But when you're dealing with people who give misinterpretations and mistranslations of the scriptures, they give you the implication that this happened like that. And it makes no sense. If we're created in the image and likeness of God, and we do things similar to God, well, if God, look at the vast universe and how it developed over time. That shows you the power of who or what we're calling God. That it took time for these things to take place. You understand? Is everybody with me? I don't want to lose anybody. I want to go real slow because I want to make sure you get this. This is information that nobody wishes to go back and teach. What happens is, oftentimes we talk about Egypt and we talk about Samaria and all of these ancient cultures, and it sounds so beautiful. But then when you sit down at the table, you say, I don't know nothing about the Bible. You know, and especially if you're trying to convey this information to your mother or your grandmother, and she's like, look, if you ain't using the Bible, I don't want to hear nothing about it. So these are the tools that we've been given. In the 90s, this information was all over. It was everywhere. And I just wanted to bring this information up. It already was, but I'm doing it again. So this text is not, it's called Barashit. And it identifies a recreation, a remodeling, and a restructuring. Not a creation story insofar as to create from anything new. In Hebrew, we have another word. Say chalak. Chalak. And its many variations. Chaluk, chelek, depending on the dialect. This word means to create. So you have two words, but the difference is chalak identifies a creation of new things, and barashit is taking from the created things and forming new things. You get it? Chalak is the creation, in Hebrew, the word to create new things. Barashit is taking from those created things and forming new things. Everybody got that?
You must learn.